to know that in a time like this, somebody is just somewhere going through one or two issues in their heart that keeps them sleepless, that keep them troubled. Your mind is so troubled about somebody who is just sleeping with a peaceful mind. Why do we get to a place where we keep on destroying ourselves with thoughts which are health destroying? We keep on investing time in our mind with thoughts which are not actually helpful. The person you're worried about, the person is okay. The person that makes you feel so bad, the person does not feel what you feel. Now, where my problem is how can we be able to fix out? How can we be able to amend? How can we be able to adjust? How can we be able to correct? Is an issue. So many people get to a place where they are troubled. Some get to a place where their worries degenerate them to a place where they start cultivating internal health crisis. Why must we get to that place? What are the things that causes us to get to that place? How can we fix it? It's important to understand that for a relationship to work, there are a lot of factors that must be considered. And when we neglect some of the principles that actually permit relationship to work, we start discovering that we will get into unnecessary experiences which are health destroying. Psychologically, we have a people whom they have gone to a state of half mental and half sane. What do I mean by that? Their perspective about other people has been destroyed by a particular experience they had with somebody. A bad experience should not make you to have a bad way of looking at people, a bad way of relating with others. Many people, their bad attitudes today are just a product of the effect of a previous relationship that didn't work the way they expected. And it's a problem. I want us to talk. I want us to get to a place where that which you feel is a problem, that which is actually destroying you, that which you think it's a problem. Let's see how we can come up with solutions, because the Bible says with God all things are possible. Until you know how to come out of a mess, you would not be able to experience the joy that is in life. Why people are angry with you? You're excelling because you're not feeling what they're feeling. People's hatred towards you can't change that which God has fashioned for you. People looking at you with a negative picture can't cancel the greatness you were fashioned for. Anybody's life is going to be a mess up is the one who have allowed the opinions of others to deny them access to experience the best that God has for them. It's true that a lot of people today are stuck in life. A lot of relationships have been destroyed because people have allowed other people's opinion to influence that which they held as a value before they began the relationship. I would assure you that there's no relationship that will go without challenges. That's for sure. And if you don't know that, you're not ready for a relationship. And I'll explain why challenges come in relationship. Because when we don't understand some things, there is a tendency that we get to start feeling bad. We get to start fighting something which actually is not bad, but a poor picture about what we are into make us to a place where we begin to fight some things which are actually not bad. So many people have become a big problem in their relationships because they let other people's opinion about relationship to influence the original way they would have faced their relationship. Let me explain to you. No two relationships are the same. And you must understand that no two human beings have the same IQ, the same affection level, the same drive in life. You know, some people are extrovert inclined, some people are introvert inclined. Their temperamental values, which sometimes can be able to affect a build up expectation with respect to people's opinion as to what you are to benefit in a relationship, as to what you are to experience in the relationship. There is this fantasy that sometimes is built in the minds of people based on other people's experience that denies you access to be able to face the reality of your own relationship, for you to be able to explore it and bring out the best out of it. Relationships are actually very vital for our lives to move from one point to another. There's a place your life will never get to until you get into a particular relationship which is intended. There is somebody who is wired to represent something in your life. We have diverse kind of relationship, and I tell you the truth, and if a negative effect in a particular relationship can affect every other relationship you find yourself into. So we must be very, very, very sensitive with the way we go about relationship. Now, this is the first thing we have to understand. Two people cannot work together unless they are in a relationship. Things that actually destroy good relationships. Small things destroy good relationship. And I get worried when I see people who were meant to excel together, and now they're fighting one another. Now they're in a state of war, a state of disagreement. Let me explain to you. Somebody whom you want to relate with, which has not grown to have the experience you have, the understanding you have, there is a tendency that your affection towards that person might blind you of the reality of their maturity level. Sometimes some people get into a relationship because of the way somebody talks. Wow, he talks nice. I like the way he talks. I like the way he dresses. I like his catch. People have different motives for getting entangled in a relationship. But you must understand that what sustains a relationship is not the little things which are your motives. What sustains a relationship is mutuality in reasoning. Bible says two cannot work together unless they be agreed. Now, how does it work when somebody is more advanced in understanding and he has to relate with somebody with a lower IQ? Simple. I must get to a place of realizing that my level of growth has its expectation which might not fit with that which the person I want to relate with can demonstrate. So I must consider the option of bringing my mind to a place of expectation equal to their development. So if I've made up my mind to bring down myself to their level, then all that which they would do, I will be able to appreciate it. I can't define somebody by my thinking. I can only define somebody by its maturity level. If I have the right definition about you, then I will not be worried when you are exhibiting a quality lesser than my expectation, because my growth level has its expectation. Your growth level has its expectation. And sometimes there are things which I do which are good, but they are higher than your understanding. So it becomes a problem to you because of poor understanding. Now understand me, the Bible says, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. When that which you know about a relationship or about somebody is less than that which the person is, then there is a tendency that the person's action would always take you by surprise. There's a tendency that there are a lot of things you will not be able to understand about the person. So how can you make a relationship work with somebody when sometimes you're in constant conflict with the person? One of the things you must understand that is actually the engineering force behind conflicts is the fact that when there's a variation in understanding, it leads to conflict. When there's a variation in understanding, it leads to conflict. When we are reasoning from different angles, it will lead to unnecessary conflict. And I tell you the truth, no matter what you do, until you come to a place of realizing that a man who is not at your development level cannot be able to produce the result that you are expecting, and you decide to bring down yourself to their level of reasoning, you cannot be able to relate effectively. Now let's come out of that. In other forms of conflict generation, other things that generate conflict, other things that create problems in relationship. Sometimes when you are in a relationship which is going well, your mind accepted it from the beginning, you're actually moving with it, and then you expose your mind to external voices, people who don't see that relationship from the angle of its purpose. They start polluting your mind, and when your mind is polluted by an external force, your action in that relationship will change. Most relationships have been destroyed because of external influence. From the beginning, the problem of the first relationship was because of external influence. When Adam was relating with Eve, they were together and they were actually doing good. But the day Eve gave attention to listen to a strange voice, a strange spirit possessed her, and that is how that relationship was destroyed and it came out of his glory. I tell you the truth, don't let somebody's opinion or their way of running their relationship to guide yours. Two relationships would never be the same. There are introvertical men or women which that which they expect is different from extrovertical men or women, temperament wise. Why? There are other people who, based on their visions, based on their dreams in life, their expectations doesn't warrant that which is working for the other person. Stop borrowing ideas and opinions to be able to run your relationship. You must make up your mind to find out the purpose of a particular relationship and be able to derive a way that relationship has to be run in order to enjoy it. Hear me. The only person which is permitted to be part of your life when it gets to relationship for you to excel is a life coach. Not everybody can be a life coach. A life coach is not just a pastor. A life coach is not just a Christian. A life coach is actually somebody whom has been branded with an understanding about life that can guide you to understand life in context of your peculiarity. We have acculturative leaders which all they say or all they guide people is in line of how they think. But life coach are people who guide people. Now, you know what a coach does? A coach helps footballers which are playing and operating with different dynamics. Somebody is a defender, somebody is a midfielder, somebody is the goalkeeper, somebody is the attacker. The coach knows how to position every person with respect to their peculiarity so that they can have effectiveness. Now, without the coach, just imagine a defender wants to be an attacker. He might not be as productive as if he's put in the placement of his peculiarity. An attacker wants to be a defender. A goalkeeper wants to be a defender. An attacker wants to be the goalkeeper. It becomes a problem. So a life coach is not just somebody who is a spiritual person. It's not just somebody who is mature. It's somebody who can be able to diagnose your peculiarity and knows how to position you with respect to your peculiarity for effective operation in order to gain the best in a relationship. When you have a life coach over your life, what he does is he gets you through certain exposition, assess the areas of your strength, assess the area of your weakness, empower you where you're weak, and guide your strength so that you can be able to master yourself and be able to exhibit the best of yourself. With a life coach in place, you can be guided into an experience that will permit you to explore a particular relationship effectively. So many people are in a good relationship, but without the guide of a life coach, they might not be able to understand how to exhibit the best of their qualities in that relationship in order to benefit from the relationship. There's somebody right now somewhere who needs a life coach. That's your only problem. Your strengths are not properly coordinated. Your potentials are not properly coordinated. You do things with a good heart, but it is not coordinated in context of what you are pursuing. So at the end of the day, it leads to unnecessary problems. Sometimes a good action which is not expressed in the right placement or the right timing, it can degenerate to a problem which might cause you to lose a relationship. Now I want to close that phase by helping us understand the place of a life coach. I didn't just say a mentor, but a life coach. Somebody who can help you understand your peculiarity and where you can fit in life, where you can fit in a particular relationship in order to cultivate the best. Very important. Now I want to get to another area when it gets to conflicts that which destroy relationship. You must understand that even twins which are born by the same mother, they don't have the same drive for life. They don't have the same passion. They don't have the same motivation. So you must not be able to want to borrow somebody's experience to be able to guide your life for you to get to the best. Hear me? The fact that you made a mistake doesn't make you a mistake. What you need to do is to learn from your mistakes and see how you can properly explore and encounter and get to the best. There are people whom actually that which they might want to give you as an advice was good for their time, good for their relationship, but it cannot be able to empower you to be effective in your own relationship, because all relationships are unique. Let me give you an example. God came to a prophet and gave a word to that prophet. Now, instead of that prophet to be able to act upon the word which God gave him, he left and went and looked for an old prophet. Now, the question might be, why is he consulting an old prophet? The Bible didn't say his mentor. The Bible didn't say his spiritual father, an old prophet. What I want to bring in this place is that sometimes your admiration for other people's relationship can put you to a place where you might want to borrow their pattern, which does not fit with respect to God's assignment for your life. A lot of people rush into a big error because they want to borrow the experiences of others. Let somebody be an inspiration to you so that you can be able to discover yourself and become the best of yourself. But don't become a photocopy of anybody. You never become the best of yourself by trying to acculturate or copy, replicate somebody's experience. You know, the relationship model in the days of our great-grandparents cannot be able to suit our time. And that's where we have a problem. We can operate with outdated revelation in a time where civilization has evolved to a great height and we're expecting to command the same result. It's not possible. In those days, you can just tell a woman, sit in the house. And a woman was just going to sit in the house and you're okay, that's it. But let me tell you, in our present day, no woman wants to sit in the house. No woman just wants to be idle. We have women who have been so developed where they feel that they can also be productive, they can also be contributive, and you can't just carry a lady full of potential and just keep him like a house utensil and you expect her to feel okay. There are people who have developed strange attitudes in relationship because their potentials have been caged because of a spouse who have an outdated and archaic revelation or perspective about relationship. You see, when you carry an outdated perspective about relationship, you might be thinking you are doing good, not knowing you're oppressing somebody's potential, because with the changing demand of time, there is a growing demand in the desires of human beings as to what pleases them and what will not please them. We have ladies which today are great visionaries. I mean, great visionaries, honestly. And just imagine a man just say, okay, women are just supposed to sit, a man goes and work and come and give you money. And you met a lady which you admire, the lady admires you, and you are carrying an archaic mentality to build a foundation of a relationship. My brother, my sister, it's not going to work. Because a woman who carries dreams in her mind, her potentials are activated. You can't just catch her in the house. You can't. Sometimes you say, oh, she's a bad woman. You don't know that you caused her to become bad. Because when you got married to the person, you did not find out her dreams. You did not find out the things which are already activated in her life, the drives that were within her, and see how you can be able to coordinate it to her best. It's dangerous for a woman to marry a man who does not have a vision. Said it. It's very important. If you marry a man who does not have a vision, I tell you, you're going to be in great confusion. The Bible says, where there's no vision, the people perish. Perish does not mean dead. Perish means to be in a fix. Perish means to stagnate. Perish means to revolve around a particular level of experience. The reason why you find a relationship is not moving forward is because the man who is assumed to be the visionary, the head of the family, has no vision. Today is into that, tomorrow is into that, the next day is on this day is saying that, the next day is saying that. Now let me help you understand something. Never want to get married to a man who does not have a vision. It's great danger. Number two, don't just marry a man without finding out if his vision can accommodate your dreams. Very important. It's good caution to a woman. If a man's vision cannot accommodate your dreams, I tell you, one day there will be explosion. Relationships always begin sweet, but when they start facing the realities of it, I tell you, people want to run out of it. What sustains relationship is vision. It's not fine face. It's not money. It's vision. Vision is the vehicle that carries people to a particular destination. Without vision, there's going to be confusion. So every confused relationship is existing because there was no vision from the foundation. For a woman to gain security in any relationship, she must consider the option of finding out the vision of a man and assessing whether her potentials, her drives, her dreams can be able to fit in that vision. If your dreams, your potentials can fit in that vision, I tell you, you are guaranteed for a sweet marriage. Very important. Now, out of marriage ministry, never want to be part of anybody's ministry if you don't see the person's vision having space to nurture your dreams, to nurture your potentials, to grow you. If you become part of vision that is not growing you, I tell you someday you would find yourself suffocating. Many people are part of a vision, a church, a system, and they never spend time to understand the vision, and they never found out if the vision can be able to nurture their potential, if the vision can be able to challenge their potentials for them to become the best of what they're fashioned for. It's important to understand that. Never be part of a project, never be part of an organization, never be part of anything if where that thing is going to cannot carry you to your destination. There is something you have been designed for, and anything that cannot be able to drive you in that direction will cause you to experience destruction and disgrace. It's serious to understand that. This is what, in context of marriage, God gives caution in the book of Numbers chapter 6 verse 36. God said to the daughters of Zarephath, she that wants to marry, she should think best. Now you understand, thinking is involved, not just obsession. Don't be too sentimental. You have to think. You have to think. You have to think. You have to do some assessment. The Bible says you should think best. Now, what are you thinking? It's where he's going to. Can it be able to help me arrive where God is carrying my life to? We must understand the God's factor. God created every one of us, and he has a plan for every one of us. And when you've not been able to define God's program for your life, there's a tendency that you can plunge into a relationship, and the moment you start growing to understand God's program for your life, realizing that where your life is going to in accordance to God's program is not where the man you got married to, his life is going to, conflicts would start at that point. Yeah, some people were together and happy when there was no vision, and they were not going anywhere. When they had a drive that they want to go somewhere with their life, they want something meaningful to happen in their life, so they decided to be able to expose themselves to knowledge. As they study the word of God, the mind of God, the Bible says, study to show yourself. When their true self began to manifest, it became a contradiction to that which their spouse has an expectation. And that's where conflict comes. Some conflicts sometimes don't come because you have become a bad person. Some conflicts come sometimes because you have just found your purpose, and you discover that the person you got married to doesn't fit in context with that. That's why you don't have to get married as a boy. You don't have to get married because out of pressure, oh, age is not longer on my side. No, you have to get married because you are mature. You know where you're going to. The Bible said, therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall be cleaved to his wife, and the two shall become one. Now understand that marriage is not for boys and girls. Marriage is for mature people. For a man to leave his father and mother, not that the person is mature to be able to handle certain things by himself. So when you're thinking of getting married, you should be able to get to a place of maturity where you know where your life is going to. You should have a vision for where you are going with your life. Now, at that level, when you want to marry a woman, you must be able to assess if that which the persons constitute, that which God has created a person for, can fit with respect to where you're going to. I tell you the truth. If you don't consider that to be very important, when the person gets to discover that which is God's mandate for their life, and it doesn't complement with yours, there's going to be unnecessary complication. There are factors to consider before you get married. Some people get married out of sentiments, emotions, out of pity. All these factors can degenerate you to a place where you live in misery in what we call marriage. Some other instances, when people have not spent time to master their spouse, there's a tendency that misunderstanding can always occur that can lead even to a breakout. But hear me, without a life coach, without a marriage mentor, when it's on a marital issue, it becomes difficult for you to mend the broken walls. It becomes difficult for your underdevelopment to be able to manage a good relationship. Because sometimes it's underdevelopment that makes us to malfunction, and it breaks a good relationship. It's important to have a marriage mentor. It's important to have a life coach when you want to face life realities, so you can be guided with respect to your peculiarity, so you don't plunge into something which is not going where you're going to. If you are working with somebody who is not going where you are going to, you will finally end where you are not supposed to end in life. So many people are frustrated in life. So many people are in regrets in life because they have finally got into a place which they never intended to be. Somebody asked them a question. This is not what I wanted to become. This is not where I wanted my life to go. But hear me. Sometimes the things which are actually going to help you in your future, your poor understanding might not be able to appreciate them from the beginning. So you find some people who from the beginning things were not actually going well. But as they start maturing to understand themselves, the relationship becomes sweet. It's important to study your spouse. It's important to understand their strength and their weakness. It's important to understand their values. It's important to know their drives. It's important to know where they are going to with their life so that you can be able to be of positive contribution. When you get into a relationship with somebody who is not going where you're going to, there's going to be unnecessary conflict. And today, people don't want to care. People just want to get married to somebody because of a particular potential. They say, she looks good. Oh, she sings well. Oh, she's a banker. Oh, he's a rich man. All those factors sometimes are really a problem. Let me tell you something. You can be a God-fearing person and marry a God-fearing person, but if the person is not going where you are fashioned to go with respect to God's program, one day there's going to be a conflict in that relationship. So many people are just barely covering up. They're in pains and turmoil in their relationship. It was not meant to be so from the beginning. If we don't spend time and consider the option of properly defining relationships before we stumble into them, we'll discover that the way we rush into it, it will be the same way we're struggling to rush out of it. Don't tell me, okay, I've been in my relationship for the past 17 years. Let's find out the reality. The past 17 years have been sweet. Has it been all you dreamt of? Some people are barely into it because they just want to maintain their integrity in society. Some are into it because of their children. Some are into it for different reasons. But let me tell you something. Sometimes some of these relationships are not bad relationships. Sometimes the conflict that comes in the relationship because you will not spend time to understand your spouse. Sometimes you permit some things to be part of your relationship, which are the reason why there are unnecessary conflict. I always advise people who want to get married, the first years of your marriage, don't allow, as a man, your relatives to stay with you. I'm telling you, it's important because they are bonded to you. And sometimes when you are still in the process of understanding yourself, the weaknesses of your spouse can cause your family people to defend you, and it creates a problem. Very important to understand. It's good for you to spend time with your spouse for more than a year, 2 years, or 3 years. Let all your weaknesses be displayed. Learn from your weaknesses, discover your strengths, empower yourself. When you get to master yourself, that's when you can permit some relatives to come, because some conflicts come into a home because some relatives came in out of sentiment. They want to defend their brother, they want to defend their sister, and it created a problem for a union which was not meant to be intruded by family members. The Bible says, therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother and shall be cleaved to his wife, and the two shall become one. The two shall not become 10, the two shall become one. You see, this building of oneness in the relationship, becoming is a process. You must build that relation to a place where you become. Becoming is a process. A baby has a future to become an adult, but that becoming is a process. We must understand that. A man who is married to his wife and has not left father and mother, father and mother will bring a lot of problem in that relationship. For you to succeed in your relationship, you must have been mature enough for your father and mother to trust your capability, trust your sense of judgment, trust your values, trust your vision, to be able to allow you to make decisions. Good parents don't step into issues that concerns their children. They observe from a distance. They don't allow sentiment to push them into issues. They know that with time, as they stay together, they will grow to understand themselves and know how to outbid some things. An important factor in every relationship is a mentor. Whether it's ministry, whether it is a job, whether it's a career, you must understand that successful business people have a technical advisor. People in great placement in society, get companies, they have advisors. Somebody must be there who is looking at life with a free mind, not feeling the burden and the weight you have in it that can override your mind to become sentimental and make wrong decisions. To be able to tell you, these are the original values you stood for. Don't let this carry you out of course. Yeah. I think for today, that would be the best of exposition. But if there are questions, then I tell you, we're going to have good answers which would be able to permit us to be satisfied. Do you have a challenge in a relationship? Do you have a contrary view about some opinions in relationship? Do you have a worry about some things in relationship? Is there a conflict in your mind? Is there something that bothers you when it gets to relationship? I'm talking beyond just a man and a woman. We have friendship, we have partnership, we have father and son. Relationships of all sorts. Night talk is for that purpose. Let's talk. I said the night is the period where you're no longer busy. You have to sit and reassess your values. Sit and reassess some decisions you make. And see how you can reinvent yourself so that you can correct them when you next encounter them, in order not to stumble into the same mistakes you made previously. Yeah, I'm going to give you room for questions. If there's any question, there's any contribution, I would like to get your contribution. And I believe that your contribution is going to be very vital to inspire somebody. Your question is going to permit you to get an answer that will bring satisfaction in your heart. If you don't have a question, then I'm going to believe in you. God bless you, my daughter Erica Array. God bless you, Zenui Ida Bafon. God bless you. It's pretty long. It's pretty long. God bless you, Ashley Christina. God bless you, Beatrice Lillian. God bless you, Sesha Rock. God bless you, Prophet Bisong. Prophetic Bisong. God bless you, Pastor C. Evis. God bless you. Love you. You're doing a great work. God bless you, servant of God. God's born. Owen, I want to say that God is going to make you to be an instrument of regulation, an instrument of stability, an instrument of empowering others, a model to other people. There are things which, when you understand some challenges that occur in a relationship, don't make your temperament go bad. I say challenges actually comes as a result of your understanding being lesser than something. We have a lower understanding than that which you're pursuing is going to degenerate to challenges. So some challenges are normal. Conflicts would come in relationship. Challenges are normal. And each time a challenge is present before you, need counsel to upgrade yourself in order to meet up with that which is expected to erase the effect of the challenges. So many people have outbeat a lot of things which actually made them to be a loggerhead. And today they are doing well. They have become a testimony. They are a model. They are counselors. But anybody will allow a bad experience to give them a psychology of relationship, they are going to be a bad advice, a bad influence to you. So don't get to people whom their excesses are ruling them. I want to say God bless you. I believe that this little counsel is going to help you to be able to see where actually some conflicts have actually evolved, and also know how to be able to deal with some of the conflicts and be able to break out of them and get to the best. There are good things in every relationship which you can exploit properly. I pray that God is going to give you counsel to be able to exploit and benefit from the relationship which He has brought your way. And also God is going to give you wisdom to be able to discern which person represents what in your life, so you don't plunge into a wrong relationship that can lead to unnecessary pain. I pray that God is going to give you counsel to know how to relate with people who are in your life for a season, and when that season expire, you can be able to separate yourself from them and help you to be able to discern who represents what in your life. Some people are there whom you have affection for them, but they are supposed to be your friend, and you don't change affection for friendship and make it for a fiance. It's going to be a big problem. And don't be ashamed if you make mistakes. Learn from them. You become better. God bless you. I want to say I love you. You have a wonderful night. See you tomorrow. I believe that we're going to have a wonderful time. Love you.